Okay, so hi and welcome. This is Zish, Visionary Life Hacks, here to connect, here to inspire, here to be the change. If you're watching the live, welcome. If you're watching the replay, welcome. And if you share this, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so I did a post last night about the fulvic mineral, the humic mineral, the shilajit, the C60, the methylene blue. I think I expanded on that today. The activated charcoal, why the need for something that's activated, and then so keeping it really simple. Like the reason why all these things like the humic mineral. Now I'm gonna the shilajit is like basically for me is like a no because I've done my research. I didn't want it to be true, but it's true. The shilajit is now a no. So there's so many things that we have been led to believe are solutions. Now, you could say, well, they were using it back in Ayurvedic times. They were using it back in Afghan times, and you wouldn't be wrong. They were. But the problem now is, and then you can go, oh, well, look at the Tesla technology and all this stuff and then people are bringing out rehashed versions. Now, the problem today is that we are dealing with, I've just been learning about this thing coming out of Japan now called the replicon. Japan has fallen. All of the world has essentially fallen to this technocratic, greedy world. And our so-called alternative world and our allopathic world has fallen to the what would you call it, to the dollar, to the vested interests in stocks and shares of these large technocratic companies. And so we really have to now keep it so simple. We keep it so simple, stupid, that we're moving forward. Like herbs. Do herbs even work anymore? Does anything really work? And so how important is it to learn about the chlorides? How important is it to learn about the acids? And like when you're being told to be alkaline, how important is it to have acids, not alkaline? So everything's become inverted. Those that you thought were for you are against you. And so now it's really about, it's going to get more crazy. It's going to get more crazy. And we really have to do the very best that we can in these crazy times and research things like, what I am doing in self-governance and self-sovereignty is learning about oxysulfur. I'm learning about MSM, DMSO, CDS, magnesium, pure sources of magnesium, pure sources of B vitamins, as best sources of specific foods that I am choosing and wanting to eat. Specifically things like steak, bone broths, bacon, specific fats, studying the works of Dr. Tom Cowan, looking into what is the replicon. And in amongst this, I am personally learning about how to build anti-nano triangles, how to incorporate specific salt bathing that is beneficial for me. And so doing specific things that I'm able to do as countermeasures to the exposure from the synthetic nanotechnology biology. Now, the problem with the C60, the problem with the activated charcoal, the activated charcoal, the problem with the humic acid, the problem with the fulvic mineral, the problem with the methylene blue, the problem with the shilajit, the problem with all of these things is they are able, if you look at them through the lens of a Internet of Nano Things compartmentalized scientist, this technology is using this technology to create a biohacking stronger version of yourself that is cyber cybernetic, Hanson Robotic, choose your pill, stay in the simulation, this world, or break free of the me that everyone else wants you to be, and to find your own path of self-governance and self-empowerment through the knowledge resource that you have to gain an unfair advantage. Learn about superoxide dismutase. Learn about these things. And by doing this, hi Nancy, by keeping it really simple, by bringing in learning how to build an anti-nano triangle, being aware of the false prophets in the alternative world, and knowing that the physician of late does not exist anymore. See, as long as you're going to see somebody, you're going to see the vet, you're going to see the doctor. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things, but you're still handing over everything you have to these people. It could be the alternative practitioner. It could be the David Avocado Wolf. It could be the other David Wolf. It could be the medical medium. It could be anyone. And you gravitate and take from them and go, right, okay, well, why is David telling me that I need C60? Why is he telling me that I need activated charcoal? Why is he telling me that I need nano silver? And then you go and look at the literature of the C60, and you see how the C60 is being... Hi, Patrick. You see how the C60 is being utilized, or you see how the humic fulvic mineral is being utilized in the BioNTech nanoscience. And you can see that they're utilizing these technologies for biohacking. They're using it for this. And you can ask ChatGPT, and ChatGPT what it will do, it will save yourself time, energy, and money, where you can actually lift like about 10 PubMed journals and you can see it through the other lens. You can see it from one lens where you got some goofy guru telling you why they think you need it, because they've been sold a white paper on a specific study in why they're saying it's good for you. But are they then showing you the other study where they're showing you how it's being utilized for the self-assembly and this and that and the other? And right now we're in 5th generation 5G. What happens when we go to 6G? What happens when we go to 7G? Why are they talking about cyber attacks? What is the cyber attack? Is the cyber attack on you? If you become a hackable human, is the cyber attack on you? You know, are you this? And then when they're talking about Japan and the replicon, which I've got to research this thing called the replicon, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, is the shedding even real? And what is the shedding? What actually is the shedding? And from my research, the shedding and the mRNA looks like it's some sort of marker of some kind of something, you know, the mark of some kind of a something, the mark of some kind of a something, Mr. Beastie. And when you start to realize that, what is that doing to the genetics and the DNA, and how is that affecting the immune system, and how important is it to do things like far infrared saunas, learn about the saunas, learn about your B vitamins, learn about your zincs, your sulfurs, your coppers, your B vitamins, you know, getting right with your saturated fats, getting right with your natural medicines, getting right with learning about the laurel leaf, learning about your oxymag, your DMSO, your sodium bicarbonate, you know, learning about what is borax. This is what I'm doing. You do you. Learning about what is borax, learning about what is trisodium phosphate, learning about slim spurling, learning about the original antique technology, the electrostatic technology, the analog technology, why I don't want digital, why I do not want a spooky device, why I do not want to be jacked into a mobile phone and an operating system. And by you keeping it so simple, in a smart world, you keep it simple, stupid, else you're going to become stupid and you won't have a functioning brain cell. You know, there's that saying, the lights are on, but nobody's home. What if the lights aren't even on and nobody's home? You know, and it gets to that point where there's nobody home. So are your lights on and somebody's home, or are your lights on and there's nobody home? So you really got to ask ourselves now, like, what is working? Discard that, you know, like today, I'm discarding all of my Shilajit. I don't want any more Shilajit. I don't want any. I don't want any of it. I don't want shilajit. I don't want any form of fulvic mineral, humic mineral. The whole thing has. Right. Let's look at it like this. But Zish, they were using shilajit in the 1900s. It's got to be good for me. Yeah, but they weren't geoengineering us today. Yeah, but Zish, they were using pine back then. Yeah, but they weren't geoengineering us like they are today. They've accounted for that. They're very clever what they've done. They're very clever in how they've manipulated the environment under full spectrum dominance. It's a military word. And so once you know that and you can counteract that and go, oh my God, but you can't say that the Ayurvedic people were getting it right. I can't really say that the Tesla people, I can't even say if Tesla was getting it right. Who was really getting it right back then? You know, and were they in a state of experiment? And if they were in a state of experiment, why are they gone? And how is then it being brought back to us? And so we've really got to be our own self-governing wizards and witches, where we're doing our own in-depth research into ourselves and what is actually working and what isn't working. So if I find out today that shilajit is no good, you know, they brought shilajit out in the 70s for the bodybuilders. But the problem is, with the shilajit, it is a mercury medicine. It's a mercury sulfur salt medicine. And when you're bringing a mercury medicine, what is that doing to other parts of your endocrine system? What is that doing to other parts of the body and the brain? You know, did they get it right? They might have got it wrong. You know, how did the herbalists originally find out that aconite was poisonous? How did they originally find out that belladonna was poisonous? Well, they were the guinea pigs, weren't they? How did they find out that mercury was no good? How did the Romans find out that lead might have been a great thing to make pipes for your home from, but then they ended it all up with like lead poisoning? So we've really got to like how are most of our homes functioning right now? They might think it's cheap and affordable and effective, but is it actually good for us, the houses that we live in today? Have we really evolved to a place that we should be today, or have we actually de-evolved? Like look at an old being the wrong word, but look at an old cathedral, look at an old temple. We really, you know, and what's to say that they weren't dealing with the same challenges that we were dealing with today back then? Like, why did Atlantis fall in the first place? Why did that actually happen? How many times have we been conquered by Genghis Khan and, you know, this person and that person and the Roman Empire? How many times have these resets been going on? Where did shilajit come from? Where did shungite come from? Who put it there? What happened when the meteorite happened? So there's so many functioning factors for us to now equip ourselves with when we know that the environment is being changed and altered. Your oxygen is being altered right now as we speak. We knew what was in the chemtrails 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but we don't know what's in the geoengineering right now, right here and right now. We really don't know. So we are playing a real sort of like, we are essentially like the blind leading the blind right now. It's quite challenging times to be around. And even then, when you're trying to find a B3 supplement or a magnesium supplement, most of those things are loaded with silicon dioxide, bamboo, silica. Like, it's a crazy storm of a challenge trying to find decent nutraceuticals right now. And even when you find a pure bulk, you have to double check the ingredients to make sure that it is 100% pure. And then what is it from? Is it from like Monsanto GMO? What is it from? So there's so many factors at play now. Just trying to keep yourself healthy, when it seems like the true health right now is for the rich people, and for you've got to just go to your supermarket and shut up. When I think the big problem right now is the supermarket. Well, what's so super about the supermarket? I don't really give much money to the supermarket. You know, I don't really give much money to what's on the mainstay. I'm not really into what the mainstream's got to offer me. I want simple. I want to be able to live. And it's a real challenge to be able to live right now. Oof, big breath. This is not me being negative. This is me being truthful in my situation of what's actually going on right now. My head's like just blown apart again. I didn't even know about this replicon. It sounds like something out of bloody Transformers. Anyway, this is Brother Zish chiming in, keeping it simple, keeping it stupid. Just a dad who knows some things. I never really want to be the smartest man in the room. I'm really not. I'm just a dad working this stuff out like you. A rising tide lifts all ships. We're all in this together. And some of you will hear it, but some of you won't. Some of you will challenge it and it's not for you, and that's fine. I had someone come to me the other day, I need more proof than that on the C60. It's like, well, there's enough proof out there. You're just taking it on the surface. You're just taking it on the shallow surface level, but you haven't gone deep enough into what the good is of C60 and what the bad is of C60. And there's enough. Where there's smoke, there is fire. And this C60 is, there is smoke with the ivermectin, with the shilajit, with your Morgellons, with all these people, all these goofy gurus that have gone viral. There is smoke there. There is smoke there. There is smoke, and then there is fire. And I'd rather not take my chances with that and go the road less travelled and keep it so simple and have simple books like The Nourishing of Traditions and, you know, the Nourishing Traditions and, you know, and learning simple things like breath, breathing, you know, simple things, keeping it so simple, really, really, really simple. Keeping it so simple that like anybody can get this. You get your Nourishing Traditions book by Dr. Tom Cowan and Sally Fallon. Get some of their books like, you know, The Contagion Myth. Go to the back section and follow their guidelines for simple eating of food. Get your fats right. Get your animal fats right. Get your olive oil into you. You know, yes, the apple cider vinegar is being nanofied. But what can you do? You could put your apple cider vinegar into a nano triangle, couldn't you? Build an anti-nano triangle. If you're lazy and you're not going to build one, I'll build one for you. But you should really I might get to a point where I go, I'm not building any anti-nano triangles now. You've got to build them. You do you. You do you. You build your triangle. There's a certain point I'm like sort of cutting off from all of this stuff now, thinking, no, you build your triangle. You take responsibility. You become a self-governing individual. You do you. You take that action. You have to do it. I'm not going to do it for you. I might even go, I'm not doing any more anti-nano triangles. I've got to build 4 more, and I think I might just go, that's it now, I've done it. I've done my duty. Everyone else can go out there and build their own triangles. Unless I know them and I know that they're in a state of self-governance as well. If they're in a state of self-governance, that's good. I can work with you. But if you're not doing the research, if you're not reading the white papers, if you're not buying the book, I've said it, I don't know how many people have done it. There's probably only a small percentage of people that actually bought the book when I said you buy the book by Alana Freeland, book 3 on transhumanism. It's really important that people buy it. You can find her free books, which I put into my Telegram group for free, and you can download it and print it up. I posted so many videos in here from Tony Pantalleresco on the C60, on the silica. It's all here. All the data points are here. It's all here. Anyway, I'm going to go. Have a great day. From my heart to yours, Brother Zish. Bye for now.